Hi, kind of sounders. It's me, Giles Bryant here. Welcome to an episode of the Awakening Show. And today I've got an important subject. It's talking about detox for yoga and healing aspects of yoga that relate to that process of detoxification. It's very important. I wrote a newsletter to my World Healing Project mailing list today. You can sign up for that. Send us an email, info@worldhealingproject.com. And we'll stick you on the newsletter list. And in studying global health for 25 years, my conclusions are that illness is principally created by nutritional deficiencies and through toxicity. And that toxicity is caused many ways now. It could be electromagnetic, microwave toxicity. It might be pesticides and herbicides in the food we eat or in a water supply. It might be heavy metals that are found their way into our body by various means. But the mainstream media narrative and the narrative pushed by many people is that most deaths are actually caused by a virus. And this simply is not true. What is important, though, is the strengthening of our immune system, so that we can hold off and most effectively combat any illness that comes our way. And for this, generally, I would suggest is a good form of exercise that you enjoy doing and that you can do. This is where we're going to start talking about yoga soon. But also adequate fresh air, sufficient levels of nutrients, very important, vitamin D, vitamin C and zinc, principally for immune function. Good clean water. Cheers. And community, love and support in your life. Good sleep, management of stress levels. All of these things are fundamental for the function of the immune system. And one of those things I just mentioned there is exercise. Good exercise. You know, if you can, exercise outside, exercise in nature, get close to nature. It's the best form of exercise we can do. And this session that I'm running today, this show today, is really very much linked to the fact that on the 6th of September for 30 days, my wife, Juliet Bryant, and I are running a 30-day detox program. I mean, it's mainly Juliet's thing, to be honest. I'm going to be providing 30 yoga techniques. So for every day, people can learn a new technique. And I've learned a lot, and I am continue to learn a lot through the study of yoga. It's such an incredibly vast subject. I'm learning all the time about yoga. But what I've learned, there are some valuable things that I can share with people. And I'm going to share some of those things here because it's so important. I wanted everyone to be able to access this, not just the people that are signing up for this 30-day detox. If you are interested in that, by the way, julietbryant.com. That's JULIETTE Bryant.com. Of course, Juliet is a fellow presenter on Kind of Sound. Her show, Transformative Health, is always worth a listen. So let's start then by talking about ways we can get some of that good exercise into our lives. And what I would suggest is to move your body, if you can, outside a little bit every day. Okay? So that may be that you learn some of the yoga sequences, very basic and very beneficial. If you just search Giles Bryant Yoga on YouTube, then you'll find many of my videos, and of course, thousands, millions of other yoga teachers as well are sharing their techniques for free. You know, you can watch it and gain it for free on the internet. It's a really valuable resource. But there's nothing like learning something from someone in person, one-to-one. And one of the things that I have done throughout the quote pandemic is provide a space to teach individuals and small groups practices of health and well-being. This is essential for physical, mental, and also spiritual health and harmony. We are mind, body, soul. Yeah, it's part of who we are. Ultimately, we are the consciousness that is using the mind and is within the body. We are the soul. But when we look at healing, we're here right now. So it's important that we maintain the temple of the body and have practices also that are very good for the mind detox practice, the concentration, meditation, contemplation, gratitude. Practices like this are so valuable for mental health. So on a physical level, if you can. Now, when we were in India, we got to know many people, and some of them, had several jobs depending on the season. You get great variation in the temperature and the weather in India, depending on where you are. It's a subcontinent, but also the monsoon brings a great change in the weather. So people sometimes have seasonal work. And remember one of the guys we met, he said, when we're farming, we don't need yoga. And what he meant by that, we don't need the hatha yoga, we don't need the asana, we don't need the movements, because they're using their bodies all the time. They don't need to then work that body more. But as they were practicing, as they were doing those movements, they were also practicing a form of yoga, of karma yoga. This is the selfless activity. It is acting but not being attached to the fruits of the action. It is service to the higher good throughout our work. And also, they were practicing bhakti yoga. Bhakti is the devotional practice. So whilst we are at work, the mind can be occupied in contemplation, prayer, chanting, and mantra. So I encourage you, when you move your body, to breathe, and to breathe in the fresh air. So I'm indoors here right now recording, but I've been outdoors, looking forward to getting outside, doing a bit more work. And as I do, I want to be consciously breathing. Maybe it's something we can practice now. If you're listening to this on a podcast in your car, obviously keep those eyes open. But if it's safe to do so, you might want to close the eyes. Sit with your spine upright. If you can, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth or the nose. This simple technique, we're just focusing on that inhalation through nose. So the breath is life. So if we can breathe in fully, we are breathing in the fullness of life and all of its goodness. If we can breathe out fully, then we can really start to detox and cleanse our system very profoundly. So breathing in deeply. And breathing out deeply. So this practice of movement and breath can have profound benefits for our health and our well-being. Just about the mechanics of breathing, you might not be able to see this here, but you bring your hands onto your abdomen, one lower, one upper, as you breathe in, and the inhale, trying to expand the belly outwards, then the rib cage, then the collarbones. So the lungs are full. Then on the exhalation, collarbones full, rib cage contracts, belly comes in. And then we breathe in. The more you practice, and softly breathe out. The more you practice, the more you will feel the benefits of this. And certainly if you can be out in nature, if you're in a forest environment or by a clean river, by the ocean, by flowers, I'm just looking out here to my window, it's beautiful nature all around me. It's very fortunate to have that. But you can find it if you live in an urban environment. In a city, you can find a park. Everywhere we can find some form of nature, a plant, a tree, a flower, some form of nature connect to that natural energy. And as we breathe in, feel that we are drawing in the healing vibration, the healing energy, the very essence of life. Yoga is called prana, in China it's called chi, in Japan it's called ki. This life essence we can distill from the breath and fill ourselves with this vibrant life essence into every cell of the body. And then with that exhalation, feel that that deep purification is taking place through every cell of the body. The elimination of toxins, tension, no longer serves our highest good, replacing that with the fresh life force. Even at a chemical level, we need oxygen. The cell needs oxygen. And as we breathe out carbon, other gases, we purify the body. So every week I teach a form of yoga called dynamic yoga. It's a very intensive practice that I learned when studying in India with the Krishna Baba, great man, Krishna Baba, big love to you. And it's a practice where the movement is flowing, we call this vinyasa, based on the breath. And the breathing is a specific technique called Ujjayi breath, where you're breathing in and out through the nose. On the out breath, I don't know if you can hear that, but on the out breath, a slight restriction of the throat makes a bit of the sound like the ocean. And the Ujjayi breath is said to stabilize and regulate the prana within the body. The practice is accompanied always by a focal point. It might be on the brow, it might be on a hand or a foot, or left or right, up or down, or knee, whatever. Belly, different of the focal points called drishti. And also it maintains a practice throughout called the bandha. This is the energy lock which releases the energy. The root bandha, the mulabandha, the inside of your bottom, and your belly and your throat. And this awareness through these centers, subtle centers of energy, allows the energy to be principally stabilized in the base. If you feel safe and strong and secure, the belly is if you feel uplifted, and the throat is about the calmness. This forms the Mahabandha, the great energy release of enlightenment, of enlightened consciousness, love, joy, bliss absolute, the goal of our practice. And the class finishes with, we start with a smoothie. We have a superfood smoothie to fuel the body. And that contains a range of plant botanicals, of good amounts of protein and essential fats and phytonutrients, the plant nutrients, nutrients of light. The phytonutrient is the light. The plant captures the light, the sunlight, and makes it into something useful. And I really feel it's a great benefit for yoga for life, is to have that healthy boost of nutrients if you can. You know, if you're fortunate enough to be able to access it, then a blender can be a very useful thing to whiz up certain foods that otherwise would be quite hard to digest. So you can pick some fresh greens from your garden or your local environment if it's not polluted. Sort of thing you could might put in is like some mint, or a little bit of rosemary, possibly some dandelion. So many plants that you can use that are all around us, often all around us. And then what I do is I put some nice clean water in, Juliet's All You Need superfood protein powder, which has got an assortment of nutrients. and maybe a frozen banana or some frozen fruit, some berries or something. Just whiz it up, whiz it up. And then you have that real powerful nutrients. The dynamic yoga is intensive physical practice, a powerful physical practice. It's really not the yoga for everyone. You have to be quite hardcore even to attempt it. But for me, it's keeping me young. I'm 46 years of age, and some of my students are young, healthy people, fit people. So if I can keep up with them, and if I can keep one step ahead of them, showing them things, then it's really keeping me strong, keeping me very strong, in fact. In all ways. I went away recently with some of my old school buddies and noticed that they were all at one time wearing glasses. And I'm not wearing any glasses. My eyes are not as good as when I was 16, I'm sure, but I'm still doing fine because the yoga's helping me and the good nutrients are helping me. So it's really the fuel for the system. Then we have the practice, and it finishes with deep relaxation. Now, these two things are very important. This is the fundamentals, if you like, of Hatha yoga. So we have the in-breath, and the out-breath, the sun and the moon, okay, the yin and the yang, bringing these things into balance. So to achieve detoxification and healing through yoga, this is what we need to do. We need to both exercise, energize, and we need to relax and be still and chill out. And both of these things are important for us. If you want to really experience deep relaxation, then after effective physical exercise, you will find it much easier to relax. And in that relaxation, after exercise, after good nutrients, after clean water, you'll find you can really enhance the body's natural healing and detoxification process. The body has a healing mechanism. It's very sophisticated. The immune system is all the body systems that go into repair and healing. It's incredibly complicated. And science is learning more about it. More studies have gone onto it. One branch of science is called psychoneuroimmunology. It's how the mind affects the immune system. And they are rediscovering ancient yogic wisdom that has been known for thousands of years. This branch of science is reasonably, last few decades really, it's coming to its own, psychoneuroimmunology. We can think ourselves well. We can think ourselves sick. And our immune system can become paralyzed. Fear is one of the major problems. If we can bring ourselves back into the moment, back into that place of trust and grace, centering our energy, awakening the heart to gratitude, forgiveness, love, friendship, the healing power of nature, then we can experience profound healing. We can experience really effective healing that is natural. It's a natural process. And some of the things that prevent that natural process of healing taking place are the deficiencies of nutrients. Our body, the complexity of the body systems depends upon fuel. It's like a car. It's like expecting a car. It's not going to go unless you have the right fuel. And what you put into your fuel, you have a traditional petrol or diesel car, it's very complex. Even if you've got an electric car, that lithium battery is very complex. So we need a lot. Our body needs a lot. We have we have a need for a great range of nutrients, a great range of minerals and vitamins. They're vital for our health, vital. And of course, sufficient amount of protein, fat, carbohydrate, fiber, and enzymes. Adequate hydration. This is essential. It's not you might need it, it's essential. And most people are chronically deficient in nutrients, chronically deficient in magnesium and vitamin D and omega-3 essential fat, chronically deficient in digestive enzymes. People's health is suffering so much as a result of this. We also see problems brought about by toxicity. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier. This can also come from foods. Some foods for me might be fine, but for you, they actually might act like a poison for your system. So if you are unwell, if you're experiencing ill health, particularly linked to your digestive system, it can be good to practice partial fasting. Intermittent fasting can be a useful thing. This is where that you will only eat up to a certain time of the evening. And then say, for example, you don't eat any later than 6 o'clock. And then you're not going to eat until 10 o'clock in the morning, say. So that would give you 16 hours. You're giving your body a break, it can rest. Well, animals, when they're sick, they will forgo food, they'll rest, they'll fast. It's a natural healing method. Of course, you can look into fasting in other ways as well, rather than just that intermittent fasting, which is a great regular practice. Having that bit of a break from food, or looking to juice fasting or juice feasting, as it's sometimes called, real high levels of nutrients in juices or smoothies, and also water fasting. And some people even will dry fast. These things are best undertaken with supervision. I really recommend you get in contact with a qualified healthcare practitioner if you're going to follow any of these methods. Intermittent fasting, you'll be fine. All right. Just have that bit of time where you don't eat. Just make sure, if you need to, your blood sugar levels are supported if you have any issues with that. But this can be a very good thing and a very effective way then to start fueling our body with these super nutrients, which then can detoxify and assist the body's natural detoxification process. I've heard it said before that the body just detoxes anyway. So any of these detox aids, herbs or whatever, teas, tonics are just rubbish because the body detox anyway. It's going to detox anyway. Well, these people don't really know what they're talking about. You can improve the function of your liver. You can improve the function of your kidneys. You can improve the function of your lungs. You can improve the function of your heart. You can improve the function of your lymphatic system. And yoga is a fantastic way to do all of these things. The yoga movements, this aspect of yoga, and there are many aspects of yoga, but there's one aspect of yoga, is encouraging oxygen-rich blood to flow throughout the body. It is encouraging the internal massage of the organs to assist their ultimate functioning, their life-giving function. There are certain herbs that can be taken to improve the function of vital organs. And this has been studied for many years in many cultures around the world. This is why a diet rich in plant botanicals, it's one of the reasons it's so beneficial for us, because of the effect that some of these things have on different body parts. For example, I'm drinking now Juliet's CBD chocolate mix. And this has got in it cacao, which has incredible antioxidant properties, lucuma, reishi, and chaga mushroom, mucuna, coconut nectar, CBD from the cannabis plant, and stevia. So just that one drink is giving me a wide range of nutrients that are really helping assist natural processes and bringing an enhancement to the body. One of the results of yoga is it said that yoga improves the digestive fire, which means it improves our ability to extract and assimilate the nutrients that we consume from food. You are what you eat. No, you are what you absorb. If you don't have the right balance of bacteria in your gut, for example, if you're overladen with heavy metal toxicity, with parasites, with leaky gut, with organs working inefficiently, with blocked colon, etc., then you will not effectively absorb the nutrients from food. If you don't have the right digestive enzymes, you won't be able to effectively absorb the nutrients from food. And this can lead to excess waste in the body, toxicity, blockages. So we really want to enable this process. You need to be able to go to the toilet, right? Eliminate the waste. It's very important. The yoga moves are fantastic at helping to achieve this, helping to achieve good health. What's the proof of the pudding, really, of yoga? It's the longevity of some of the practitioners of yoga. It's their incredible flexibility. One of my students sent me a video of this Indian lady who's 90, and she has far more flexibility than I do. She's twice my age and just far more flexible than I am. And there's a kind of proof of the pudding, if you like, in the effectiveness of it. So those movements improve the digestive fire by improving the function of our internal organs, improving the body's ability to detoxify. And as I said, the people that say this is not possible don't know what they're talking about, certainly haven't studied yoga seriously and practice yoga seriously. If they think this, they're ignorant of that. So what I'd say to them is take up a regular practice for at least 5 years, maybe 10 years, and then see if your body has an enhanced ability to detoxify. Then you'll know yourself whether it's correct. So I invite these people to try an experiment like this. It will be beneficial for your health. Be gentle with your practice and develop into more advanced practice gradually. This is a very sensible thing to do. So I can liken this idea of this digestive fire to when you juice lemons. So, if you have those hand lemon juices, you got to cut the lemon and it's just like this, and you get a bit of lemon juice out of it. Once upon a time, we had a food processor, and it had this fitting on it, which was citrus fruit juicer. It would kind of whiz it. And the amount of juice I was able to get out of a lemon was incredible, absolutely incredible. And I thought, this is someone who has practiced the yoga. Their body is able to absorb nutrients and extract the waste so effectively. Most people, they were like the hand juicer. They wouldn't get a lot of juice out. Didn't have enough power. Unless you've got very strong hands, I suppose, you can juice a lemon well. So we can improve the function of the internal organs through yoga, and yoga means good diet. Just like yoga means good rest and meditation and service and stretching. It's it's a unified system. So if you've got those good nutrients in, move the body, preferably outside, or you can get some fresh air. Really a beneficial thing to do. Breathe deeply, be conscious of the breath. filling your body, and move your body. And when you do, you will improve the function of all body systems, okay? Of your lymphatic system. When you're moving the body, it's really helping move that lymph around and encourage that flow of nutrients and that flow of toxins out of the body. You would improve the function of your immune system, both by that focused practice of exercise, stimulation through the exercise, but also in the rest, in the peace, in the deep relaxation aspects of yoga. Finding that quiet, finding that peace, the surrender is very beneficial for the immune function, overcoming fear and anxiety, and anchoring yourself into deep peace, as well as all the other benefits to all the other body systems, the skeletal system, the respiratory system, the endocrine system. So I hope you've enjoyed some of these insights today on how yoga can help health and improve detoxification. I'm really excited that on Monday, we're starting this 30-day detox program. As I said, the details are from julietbryant.com. If you would like to join, then you can do. You sign up at julietbryant.com. And I'm really looking forward to sharing 30 days of yoga techniques and practices with you. Well, thanks for listening to this broadcast on Kindness Sound Radio. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and God bless.